We're live.
Hello, everybody.
He said the thing.
He said the thing. The questionable. Is this on?
Is it? I don't know. Someone tell us. Hello. Say hello, people in chat, please. Let us know. Are we live?
Fingers
Can you hear
crossed.
us? Are we not all on mute?
I have no idea. I have no idea what the delay is like either. So
we're getting a few.
All right. Well, it looks like we
live.
get chat messages, so looking good so far.
Cool. Excited.
Hacktoberfest.
Yeah, Hacktoberfest is happening.
Where's everybody from? I'm in the Netherlands.
Yeah, let's do a round of intros.
Oh, yes, let's do full intros.
Yeah,
full intros. Fair enough.
Let's start with our avatar, who could possibly be AI, Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. I am in the UK. I'm a senior software engineer at DigitalOcean. I've been here for 4.5 years. This is now my 5th Hacktoberfest. We were just discussing this before the live stream when I started. I have been here for half of Hacktoberfest's entire existence, which is pretty terrifying. So yeah, I'm a senior software engineer. I'm the technical lead for Hacktoberfest. So if you've got any questions about how Hacktoberfest works, I am the person to talk to.
The AI to talk to.
That's not a denial.
Yeah, he didn't say no. All right, Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm a digital advocate. I'm a developer advocate over at DigitalOcean. Now I'm the AI. Yes, I've been at DigitalOcean for the past few years. You'll recognize me from our previous streams on Cloud Chats. Yeah, and I'm super excited to be here this year. If you have any questions about open source or Hacktoberfest, go ask Matt.
I'll go next, I guess. We're going kind of row by row. Awesome to geek up everyone today on stage and everyone here in the audience. I'm super excited. Hacktoberfest is finally here. So my name is Eddie. I'm really passionate about getting everyone into open source. So all the projects I do and all the client work I do is in the open source space. I founded the Eddie Hub community, which focuses on getting everyone into open source. And I'm working full-time on the BioDrop project. So hopefully I can answer a few questions about open source and Hacktoberfest, but any other hard, difficult questions, ask Matt.
Oh, I love this meta.
Cool. Awesome. I'm Tim. I'm a developer advocate at DigitalOcean. I'm the baby at DigitalOcean here. So still figuring out who's who, apart from Chat Matt. But yeah, I'm really excited. First Hacktoberfest with DigitalOcean, but not my first Hacktoberfest. And really looking forward to the fun times with open source. And as everybody said, talk to Matt if you want to know about Hacktoberfest. Oh, it's just me and Amy and Chris.
And Chris, yes, don't worry about Chris.
Hey, everybody. I'm Chris. I am one of the advocates here at DigitalOcean. I like to say I do everything except Kubernetes. For Kubernetes, ask Matt.
That's just me.
Don't ask me
just
about
me.
Kubernetes. I may be a software engineer, but really, that's beyond me.
Yeah, excited to have another Hacktoberfest. I feel like time has flown by, but it's funny because the closer you get to October, I feel like the energy coming up as a wave behind me of like Hacktoberfest coming, and it's like it's here. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, and then October hits, and you sit here and like it just flies by, and then you go, "Oh, it's November now. Oh, it's Christmas now. Oh, it's a new year." It all just happens so fast once it happens.
Yeah. Let's see. Shout out to everybody in chat. Durendra, welcome. Sumaka, welcome. I'm based out of Las Vegas. I didn't really say that. So let's go around and let's do like a little bit of memory road. Let's go around and do quick. Like, what's your favorite memory of Hacktoberfest? Matt, you said you've been around for half of Hacktoberfest.
Yeah, and that almost makes it more difficult to like pick a moment. Like there are some very memorable moments. Like I don't know, and this is we can talk about this later when we talk about the history and stuff. But like the spam situation we had is a very memorable moment for me because that was a lot of work for us to deal with. That sticks out in my mind when I think about like the history of Hacktoberfest. But yeah, it's very hard to say like there's a specific moment that I'm like that's my favorite memory of Hacktoberfest. It's just a joy every year to see more people join. Like you look at the numbers, and obviously Hacktoberfest grows almost every year. But also we can look at we can look at the numbers as well, like who's new each year, and it's always really nice to see how big that number is. Like there's new people getting into open source through Hacktoberfest, and that every single year that just excites me quite a bit.
Perfect. Yeah, I remember when that whole spam thing happened. I think Matt didn't sleep for like 7 straight days, just working things out and putting in the time to just make Hacktoberfest great for everybody. And I feel like that was so behind the scenes, and not many people got to see the amount of work that our team did. Matt and Phoebe definitely.
But yeah, there you go. That's all I can give. There isn't a single specific moment I'm like that's my favorite. Just the whole thing. It's always exciting.
I think you've just
Amy.
proved that Matt is an II if he didn't sleep for 7 days straight
True.
there.
Or he's a young developer.
Yeah, there's also that. I'm just
Yeah,
younger, that's burning
that's
myself
true,
out. Amy, what about you? What was your favorite memory?
What I've genuinely enjoyed about Hacktoberfest is this move to document contributions versus code contributions, because I find code contributions to be a little intimidating because I'm an app dev, which means I break a lot of stuff, and I would prefer to break my own stuff. But what I can do is I can write notes better than a lot of people. So if you're a little bit more like shy or a little more conservative in the types of things you can contribute, there are also a lot more low tech kind of projects where you can contribute to that need that kind of contribution, things like translation or definitions or even just structural or grammatical changes. A lot of that stuff you can do, and I find that stuff really approachable. So that's the kind of thing I like about Hacktoberfest.
Yeah, I love that. I say it's been one of those things like historically Hacktoberfest has been so kind of code oriented. And I think people's perception of open source generally has been so code oriented, and actually no, there's a lot more out there. From documentation to translations to even doing design work nowadays, you can do a lot of that in kind of the open source space still.
Yeah. And got to give a shout out to people that do typos on readmes, like this guy right here.
What? It's not a typo. You're just giving new developers an entry point. That's how you do that.
There you go.
I'm doing it to help you, is what I'm doing. It's not that I can't spell anything. That's certainly not the problem.
I intentionally left a mistake in there.
Every little helps, right? A house is built from like individual small bricks. So those typos are typos. A typo is, needs fixing. So I appreciate all the typo fixes that people do. So thank all of you. Thank you, Chris.
In fact, that's how I got started with Hacktoberfest. My first PR was in Hacktoberfest was a doc fix, because I think documentation is extremely important. So yeah, I love people that do PRs for documentation.
If you ever complain about someone's documentation, you can in a lot of cases fix that now. Before, you would just have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that is one of the best things about open source. Like you find an issue, you can go and fix it. You don't have to like just sit there and kind of complain to yourself that things aren't the way they should be. You can actually go in there or even if you don't want to fix it, you can open an issue and then track the fact that it's broken.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's the awareness of the problem. Some people might not be aware for whatever reason. So you're right. Just logging it is a contribution. You still get a green square for it, and someone else can fix it. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't find any issues." So if someone else has raised the issue of that bug with the useful information how to replicate it, then that is definitely adding value, and you're kind of sharing the open source love if someone else comes along and fixes it.
Tim, I know you've kind of already spoken a bit, but do you have a specific memory that was your favorite?
I think favorite. It's weird because, as I said, my first Hacktoberfest one was I wasn't even in cloud properly yet. Just getting on board and the first time realizing that I'm contributing to open source. I think my very first time contributing was just terrifying, and realizing that it shouldn't be terrifying, and I actually made a difference. That excitement of I'm part of a community. That was great. And it kept me going. And I think that's why Hacktoberfest is really fun for me. It gets people who feel like they cannot contribute or shouldn't contribute because they're new. They get issues which are actually doable. And there's a whole community behind you to help you get there.
And finally, Eddie, you as someone external to DO, what has been your favorite memory?
For me, I mean, a lot of great ones have been mentioned. I do love the non-code contributions, creating blog posts and content. And we took the advice from Hacktoberfest last year. And we've actually got a file in our documentation on BioDrop where people can say, hey, I wrote a blog post on this, or we create a YouTube video on this. I think that's amazing. But my best memory, I would say, is I love it when people get into open source, and especially during Hacktoberfest. But I also love it in November when people, message me, or I see them say it publicly, hopefully publicly, saying, I had a great Hacktoberfest. I'm going to continue with open source, even though it's November. And for me, that when I think last year, because of the non-code contributions, I think I must have seen like 20 or 30 of those in November, and that just made me so happy. So yeah, it's we have an expression in the UK which is, I know, rabbits aren't just for Easter, or dogs aren't just for Christmas. I think, open source is not just for October, not just for Hacktoberfest. Everyone keep going. Trust me, it will help you learn and network like so much more easily and faster.
I love that. All right, so let's jump into a quick primer on Hacktoberfest. It seems like there's a lot of first timers here. So welcome. We're so happy to have you. The open source community is happy to have you. Let's jump into a quick Hacktoberfest primer for those that are new, or those of us that just want to go down memory lane. What is Hacktoberfest? It's our annual event where we encourage contributions to open source through the month of October. Much of DigitalOcean runs on open source projects. So I think this is a great way for us to try to give back to a community that is like overwhelmingly positive and fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, isn't it? It's just, we're just a celebration of open source. I mean, open source is here all the time. There's nothing stopping you contributing to open source throughout the rest of the year. It's just in October, we're here, we encourage you to do it, and we kind of, in some ways, we reward you for doing it, to kind of encourage you to take that extra step if you weren't feeling that motivated to contribute. There's a reward for you doing it, and that's where we're here.
So I'm getting a lot of questions in chat for first timers. What is the best place to kind of get started? What do you all think?
This is the question that we get the most, like across Discord and stuff as well. It's like, I'm a first time attack open source. Where do I find issues? And it's honestly a really difficult problem to solve, especially like the scale of Hacktoberfest. And so it's kind of like, you'll see on our website, if we don't link to specific issues or anything, because there are too many people at Hacktoberfest to do that. So we just give you some general advice. Of course, the way Hacktoberfest works, you want to be looking for projects that have that Hacktoberfest topic on them, because Hacktoberfest is opt-in. So only send contributions to projects that want to participate in Hacktoberfest. And then beyond that, you kind of just have to do a bit of searching and find a project that's interesting to you. So if you're on like GitHub's website or GitLab's website, filter by the topic and then start filtering by the languages that you know or other topics that you're interested in. And if you're looking at issues, you can look for issues that are labeled as good first issue or help wanted. People often also put like the Hacktoberfest label on issues or first timer labels. So they're also great ways to find issues. And then like generally my biggest bit of advice for finding projects has just been, think about what you use in your daily life, what software you use, what websites you go to, and just have a look and see what is open source that you're using. because you'll find it so much easier to contribute to something that you use compared to something
Yep.
that's fresh to you, because
I
you'll
think
have that
that's
context
great
already.
advice. Yeah, that's great advice. In fact, one of the first Hacktoberfest issues I tackled was with my home automation system. It's an open source project. I'm not going to name it here, but one of the biggest. But I was excited that I could actually provide help in something I use on a daily basis as well.
Yeah, so
So I think
you're
it's
giving back in your
find a
context.
project. Sorry.
Yeah, so you're giving back to something you use already, and you have that context for contributing
Exactly,
to it with
exactly.
prior knowledge.
Yeah. So I think Matt's right on the ball there. Find something you're really interested in or you're using on a regular basis, and see if they have any Hacktoberfest labels in their issues.
Yeah, as I think Chris has pulled up the Hacktoberfest website here. So it's hacktoberfest.com. If you haven't seen the website, if you click on the participation page, we have a whole bunch of links to help you get started. Some tools for finding issues, links out to like just the GitHub and GitLab pages for finding all the projects that are opted in, and then also a load of guides on like how to contribute for the first time if you're new to that.
There's also any language you use is almost 100% going to be an open source language. I'm a big PHP developer. That is a fully open source language. Even if I can't patch the just legacy level of memory leaks that happen in it, which I love the language, but come on. You know what that language can also use? Always better documentation and better tutorials. And they have a way for you to do that. You'll find that with a lot of the languages that you use. So if you only feel comfortable with the language that you're already contributing in, that's probably going to be another early entry point that you can do is the documentation of the language you're using, because you're going to be the one who knows why it breaks and how and what the workarounds are for it.
I kind of showed off a little bit of the website, so I'm going to speed through some slides. Our values for Hacktoberfest: everybody is welcome, and it's great to see you all in chat. Quantity is fun, but quality is key. We definitely want to be able to provide solid value in any way that is possible, but try to make it quality over quantity. And short-term action makes long-term impact. Anything we do in October and beyond, right? Like a lot of this stuff can live on through code and through these projects. Quick timeline, 2014 was our first one, and I can't believe I'm saying it's 2024. But a couple of the highlights, we actually started out Hacktoberfest with, what was it? It was 50 commits, Matt? I'm just asking our
my
historian.
knowledge of that far back is ridiculous, but I think it was 50 pull requests at one point. I think the first few years was like 50 pull requests to get to win, which was just ridiculous. But that's how it all started.
And then, yeah, Amy's favorite, bringing in like the low no code contributions up in 2022. Getting started, we kind of showed off the website a little bit, but definitely find GitHub repos that have the Hacktoberfest topic on them. So make sure you're finding a labeled repo on GitHub or GitLab. The project maintainers have to accept your pull request, pull or merge request to count them towards your total. And the first 50,000 participants to have their first PR accepted will get a tree planted in their name through Tree Nation.
Yeah, so that's kind of like I suppose we should talk about what changed this year, because things have changed this year. Obviously, there are no T-shirts this year. That is the big change, right? Which I know people in chat have been already talking about. Unfortunately, we couldn't do T-shirts this year to make sure that we keep Hacktoberfest sustainable, so it can be here for the future. We're not doing them anymore. So instead, there is now a digital reward kit when you get your 4 pull requests completed. So that's replaced kind of the T-shirt. But then in addition to that, where last year you could like pick a T-shirt or a tree, this year, as soon as you complete your first pull request and it gets accepted, there'll be 50,000 trees available at that point. So there is less of a barrier to entry to planting a tree, and it's not a choice anymore. everyone in the first 50,000 gets that tree. So we're doing some good for the planet, and there's no t-shirts being shipped either. So even more good for the planet, which is pretty cool. And yeah, and then 4, you get that unique digital reward kit. And obviously along the way, if people have started registering already, you'll have seen that you unlock an avatar. Currently, everyone's only got that base level avatar for registering. But as your pull requests start getting accepted from October 7th onwards, that avatar will start leveling up. So each pull request you submit up to your 4 will give you a new level of that avatar, and you can customize those avatars quite a bit.
It's funny. It's just a bunch of bullet points and words on a page. But when I look at this, it like gets me excited about thinking about the projects that I can find and contribute to. And in my mind, I like to find projects that I've already been using. So in my mind, it's like find the projects that I'm already using that I can look through their issues and see what they need. So let's jump ahead, and we're going to go into chatting with our partners. Oh,
You got the teaser video first. You want to play that?
yeah, let's play that.
10 years. Oh, we've not got audio.
Audio's good?
We haven't. Hang on, look. I'll play it the proper way. Everyone brace.
You
Here
do
we
it.
go.
It's that time of year again, Hacktoberfest.
Time flies when we're having fun. Happy 10th anniversary, Hacktoberfest.
To all the developers around the world, happy Hacktoberfest.
Hacktoberfest is a huge celebration of open source, and at Appright, we are really excited to be part of it.
Open source is important because it is more than just code. It's about collaboration and learning together for everyone.
At Alaclaw, we have a deep passion for open source and a spirit of community-driven collaboration. That's why Hacktoberfest holds a special place in our hearts.
It's such an important thing for the open source community, and people have gotten into open source through Hacktoberfest.
Hacktoberfest is such a great way to learn new skills, meet new people, and make a difference in the world.
Hacktoberfest has been an amazing journey for us. It's time when developers from different backgrounds and skill level come together to learn, create, and make a positive impact.
You can learn new skills, meet new people from all over the world, and you can have a lot of fun by participating in many Hacktoberfest related hackathons, meetups, and other events happening all over.
So wherever you are on your journey, come and geek out with us this Hacktoberfest.
Hello, Oktoberfest! Congratulations for your 10th anniversary from the entire application team.
Happy birthday, Hacktoberfest!
Happy 10th anniversary, 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 Hacktoberfest!
Happy hacking. Happy 10th birthday, Hacktoberfest.
There we go. Quite a few familiar faces in there. And I think we're actually going to dive in now to meet more of them and have a chat with them.
Yes. First up, we have Vincent from Alacloud. Welcome, Vincent.
Hello, folks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
That's great. Am I sharing my screen right now?
It looks like you are now.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Let's just get started. It's very exciting to have this opportunity here to share our project during the Hacktoberfest. And let's just get started. I'm just using the slide from Hacktoberfest website, so it looks like similar to the slides you folks are using. And I'm co-founder of the Alaclaw, and today I will go through the following topics during my time for the 15 minutes. And the first part is introduce about what is Alaclaw, and I will have more information to the contributors about how to contribute to Alaclaw during Hacktoberfest, and we can briefly go through the swags and gifts we prepared for the contributors during the Hacktoberfest. Okay, without further ado, let's just get started. The first part is what is Alaclaw, and Alaclaw is the open source local developer tool for developer to build the internal apps, and that's what we started in the beginning. And with the developing our product, we realized that AI can really help our product to build something really powerful. So we add a lot like AI features, and basically, but it's for people to first time join Hacktoberfest. For you folks to understanding what Alaclaw exactly is, you can just regard the Alaclaw as an open source UI library and with a cloud IDE. So you can just combine the two together. We have an interface here to showing you folks about what is Alaclaw. On the left panel, you can see is all the resources, such as the components you are using and the resources you are using for you building the app. It's always on the left column. At the bottom of this interface is all the resources we support. Currently, we do support a lot mainstream resources in the marketplace, such as REST API, MyCircle, Postgres, of course, a lot great open source project databases as well, such as Upright. And we also support Hugging Face in our products, so you can just call some large language model hosted on Hugging Face easily. And on the right panel, you can see we have a lot of frequently used components per build here. So you can just basically to drag and drop the components to the canvas and to build an app such as database GUI or admin panel or dashboard in very short time. After you build the whole app, you can just deploy, and it's going to be hosted on DigitalOcean. So the whole process is very smooth, and you can just build a powerful app such as CRUD apps in very short time, like a couple minutes if you familiar the whole process and your workflow. And another project we are developing currently is a AI agent, open source AI agent community. I think this one is pretty interesting because like the initial idea for this product is we're trying to get more people to build the AI agent, but like an AI agent is right by different purpose. So that's why we are trying to gather all the high quality purports in our community, so people can. It's like a GitHub, like people can fork and start and run the purport. So with that purport, you can have a specific AI agent to help you to finish specific tasks. That's like another project we are trying to build during our developing journey. And currently, this product was released a few weeks ago, and it's doing pretty okay at this moment. So I really encourage you folks for the Hacktober participation can check this out, because it's a low code required, as long as you can write basic purport or just write specific tasks. And if you have logic knowledges, you can write high quality purport to help you build an AI agent that can finish specific tasks and more. Okay, so let's get into this topic about how to contribute to Alaclaw during the Hacktoberfest. I would like to go in through with the following steps. The first one, I think it's already mentioned, is to make sure you register on both Alaclaw's website and also Hacktober website. Otherwise, if you don't register on the both websites or apps, you probably not be able to get the digital badges, because we are using your email address to sending the digital badges. And after you build the AI agent or apps with our product, you can share the app or AI agent you build to the community. Just click the contribute button, and you will be able to get a public link. And you can just submit that public link to our open source repo on GitHub. It's called Ala Builder. And voila, that's all set. After you finish the whole process, you build high quality app or AI agent, you can just submit the link to the our repo, and you just left us to review your work. And so we also have these two challenges for people to bring physical swags as well. The first one is called Build with Ala. As you can see, we got this information you can also get from our landing page for the Hacktoberfest. And you can see we got a lot like points. For contribute, you got like 3 points. If you got submit a PR and you got merged, you got extra 6 points. And if you are using our partner resources such as Upright, Hugging Face, you got extra points as well. And in the end, we will calculate the points. The people with higher points have more potential to win our physical swags. And the next is AI with Ella. So it's called the AI agent. So if you build the AI agent with our product, and you can just start to you contribute that to the community, and you get also like a extra 6 points to get your AI agent merged to our repo. And you can also see like if your AI agent forked by the community member or run one time, you can get extra points as well. So we also prepared this tutorial video for you folks to go through about how to contribute. It's also on our YouTube channel, and you can easily check it out. I will go through this video really quick to help you folks understanding the whole process. The first step is just logging to our product, sign for free, and you can use GitHub to log into our product. So in this case, we will go through a tutorial with AI agent case. So we're gonna show you folks how to contribute an AI agent to Ella Cloud. And after you create an account, you can create, click the button Create New to start with your AI agent. And this is the place you build your agent. As you can see, we support a lot AI generated features such as the description and avatar, but you need to make sure you write a specific proposal. So you can just click the AI generated to generate the specific avatar for your AI agent and the description as well. And so after you create your proposal, you write a specific proposal and you create your AI agent, you click the save button before you move forward. And you can actually start to contribute now. But I will suggest you folks to click the start to run the proposal you write before you contribute, because we only merged the high quality AI agents recently. So if your proposal is too short or not be able to fulfill your tasks, so we are not be able to merge your AI agent. So just make sure that you check your proposal before, and the best way is just run the proposal you write. Click on the public link. You can transfer to this page, and you can just submit PR with one click. The whole process. So after we redirect it to the GitHub page, you can create a README file under the Hacktoberfest. And we have two files. One is for AI agent called Awesome AI Agents, and we have another one for Awesome Apps. If you are contributing AI agent, just click the button over there, and the name of their PR. Okay, to that step, that's all you did so far, and you can just create the pull request and So I wanted to clarify that we will run all your AI agents submit to our PR to make sure the quality is good. So as I mentioned before, so double check your AI agent and click the run button before you submit to us to review it. That's all for how to contribute to AI agent. The next part is showing how to contribute to Ella app. So you can use Ella Cloud to do the and the basic process is pretty similar, but you need to go to Ella app on the website over there and you are going to, this is the interface of the Ella builder, so you can use a drag use components, drag and drop to build your AI. So to build your Ella app, so make sure you use like a specific resources if you want to get higher points, and make sure the whatever you're building, admin panel or just basic CRUD app, just make sure the quality is good and you can smoothly run your app on your site. Okay, so click the contribute to the community, and the whole process is pretty similar to you contribute to Ella agent. You got the link and submit PR, and use the graph device. That's all for the tutorial. And next step, we will moving forward for the resting content. And we also, for the people watching this participation, watching this streaming, we have a like a promotion code as a benefit to all the participate. You can just join. You can just check, like Ella Cloud Premiere. Here we have like an AI agent available for on our Premiere seats, and you can use like a 300 token for all kind of mainstream and large language model, such as GPT-4 and Llama 2 and more. And you can have all access for the Ella Builder. And this promotion code is Hacktoberfest 2023, and it's basically just $20 to use for a year. But also we for people would like to know more to use the free version of our product. It's totally durable. And on our landing page, you can also have another promotion code. You can get like 2 months totally free while you are contributing to us during Hacktoberfest. Okay, the last part I will going through about our swags we prepared, and it's pretty interesting. So yes, we have like basically 2 separate parts for our swags to the contributor. So we mainly have like digital badges provided by Halloween. We have 4 digital badges for all the contributor, and you have to create a 2 AI agent to get the specific digital badges, and you need also create Ella app to get extra 2 digital badges from us. And we also have this Ella package, and I will go through details later about the package. So let's start with the digital badge. I think a lot of people already get the participating badge from us and iPride as well. And these 4 all the badges we created for the Ella Builder, Ella Cloud contributors. The top 2 is for Ella App Builder. So if you build app, you can get this 2 digital badges once your like app got merged. And if you create like a Ella agent, so you can get the rest of 2 digital badges from us. So totally there are 4 badges. If you want to collect all, you can create all 4 PRs and get those PR merged by Ella Cloud. And we also have this swags, physical swags for the people have a top like a really high points calculated. As I mentioned before, if you wanted to get like this physical swags, it's very limited. So we only give to the people has like a top 30% higher points. So if you get enough points, we will mail you this swags, and it includes Ella bag and Ella magnets and the whole for like all our Ella stickers. So that's all for my side. And one more thing I would like to mention here is we have this year is the Digital Ocean Reward Kit, and you can get 4 PR to get your digital reward kit. And if you submit 4 PRs to Ella Cloud, you can both get the digital reward from Hacktoberfest and also Ella Cloud as well. Yeah, so last part, I would just like to show you folks the website. It's a landing page. You can check out more information. You can go into Ella app. HF means for Hacktoberfest. You can check out the tutorial and also the swags, and also join our Hacktoberfest Discord community. I will go through the landing page there really quick. And this is a landing page. You got like we have everything here. You can check the contributing doc or watch the tutorial I showed you folks before. It's also on YouTube, and some events we prepared as well. Okay, I think that's all for my slides, and thank you for listening and joining this journey with Ella Club.
Right on. Thanks, Vincent.
Oh, he's gone. That was quick. Yeah, thank you very much. That was a wonderful presentation and a very thorough, but actually quite a simple flow for contributing to the cloud if that's something you're interested in doing. And obviously, you can also check them out. It's ala.app/hf. We'll take you straight to the landing page with all that information in one place.
Yeah, and the I believe it's the homepage that you all updated is fantastic. The amount of information and like the design of it for Hacktoberfest, love it.
Yeah, there we go. What's up next, Chris?
All right, so we have a couple more sponsors and partners coming up, but I thought we'd take a break in between and do some questions. We're calling these Hacktoberfest hurdles. So let's bring on, where's our other friends at? Amy?
Everyone's back. Here we go.
Hey, everybody's back. There's Eddie.
Hello.
All right, so threw together some questions for us. This one, what is the purpose of the doc type declaration in HTML?
No.
This is funny because this is where you get to see like who's primarily backend, who's primarily a front end developer.
I've got the answer.
My camera.
I've got the answer. It's E. Did I win?
Agreed. Hard agree.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Fill in the blank.
What is it supposed to do, or what do I use it for? Those are very different questions.
Yeah.
Do you want to answer both?
It gets
I remember
auto-generated
not
when I
to.
start the document, usually. You know?
It's one of those lines you don't even think about anymore. You just do it.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't remember the last time I wrote that line.
It's also, I say, browsers now, they don't really even need it most of the time.
Okay, I do have a story that this was a thing that I did have to write back in the day when I worked at NASA because we had a bunch of legacy applications. So you did actually need to write it down. So I am joking. I actually did have to do it by hand once, but that was a while ago and hopefully not anymore. But you never know because federal equipment, what are you going to do?
I feel like everything I use now is like frameworks that other people have built or, making it up in Code Sandbox or CodePen, and like it takes care of it for you, right?
Also, there's a default now, and it just does it for you, and it doesn't automatically break like it used to.
I don't know. I think we should all go back to writing plain HTML again. It'll be so much easier.
You say that for like a week.
A week, like 5 minutes.
It looks like nobody was fooled though. Everybody got this in chat.
Yeah, chat got it right. I think B is the correct answer here, right, Chris?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
It's funny because I'm just going to put this out there for all the questions that are today. I just asked ChatGPT.
Oh god. Oh no.
It never gave me the answer. So I'm just like, my co-host will know the answer. So I don't even want to check.
Is that the new game? Are we smarter than an AI? I don't know if my ego can take it.
It's okay. We've got Matt GPT, so
yeah, AI versus AI.
The better version of the AI. Okay.
Yeah, this one's got memories. He like has a house.
Isn't any tower a house?
Oh, we're getting. Is any server room a house?
Yeah, so my little server rack. It's a nice house.
I was stuck on this question. I mean, this is getting more difficult. It's gone from like level 3 to level 1,000.
All right. Yeah. So we're starting at the 3, but a lot of these questions, there's a couple Git questions that ChatGPT gave me later that I'm, could use some help on. There you go, Kim. Technically, you don't need the doc type in your browsers. Right on. What's up, Beast Knight? let's jump into our next partner, Aditya, with AppRate.
Oh,
there he is.
There we go.
Hey, Aditya.
And some slides.
Hey. Awesome. Well, hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks a lot to the DigitalOcean team for having me over. It's really, really good to be here with all of you, and it's amazing to be partnering and supporting Hacktoberfest again this year. I am Aditya. I am one of our developer advocates here at AppRate. I think, of course, as we're talking about AppRate's collaboration with Hacktoberfest, the first question that does tend to arise is, what, of course, is AppRate? By the way, if anyone does know in the chat, feel free to throw that in. And thanks a lot for the comment on the new design, Thomas. When we talk about what AppRate is, AppRate is an end-to-end backend as a service platform that you can use for your applications, whether they're running on the web, on your mobile phones, on your desktops, or your servers. AppRate is the kind of platform that would help abstract any complexity and repetitiveness that you need to build a modern backend API. And it would essentially allow you to build secure apps, performant apps, faster, and essentially you yourself could be building like a team of hundreds if you're using a tool like AppRate. AppRate does have quite a long history with Hacktoberfest, essentially because Hacktoberfest gave AppRate its first break back in 2019 as an open source project. AppRate was first released in September of 2019, and Hacktoberfest 2019 actually helped us get over 200 contributions, as well as double the stars in our project and enter the 4-digit range for the very first time. And since then, we've always been very appreciative and supportive of Hacktoberfest. It's been a big part of our legacy and our journey. So very glad to join in this year as well. We did have some highlights from Hacktoberfest 2022, where we saw over 140 pull requests being made, more than 40 new tutorials and demos across different platforms. We saw more than 15 live events that we had, including one offline event, as well as a variety of online activities. And we saw 140 new contributors join in, and we're just as excited about all the new contributors that we get to work with, collaborate with, and support in this edition as well. Coming to the activities we have in Hacktoberfest for AppRate this year, there are going to be a variety of ways to contribute. Some of these kinds of contributions that we are accepting this time include function templates. Function templates are a recent addition to AppRate that let you implement integrations directly out of the box and consume them in your AppRate instance. And these use the functions feature of AppRate. So you could work on more functions templates and help increase the set of out-of-the-box integrations that you could use with AppRate. Documentation, of course, is another big place where we're going to be taking a lot of contributions. I think we've seen some mentions of this in the chat, but we recently had a major redesign of AppRate, which also featured we updated our website, our documentation, and so we're now accepting quick starts tutorials to our new documentation so that we can make AppRate more developer friendly for people working across a range of tech stacks. Unit tests is going to be another part of the kind of contributions we're accepting. What we are looking for particularly here is to help improve code coverage of tests for the different SDKs AppRate supports. And we do have over 10 SDKs for the client and server. So there is quite a range there. We also have a new kind of contribution we're taking this time, which includes security scans for the build pipeline of AppRate itself. And this would feature the ability to add security scans through GitHub Actions, I believe. to Appright's build pipeline, so you can help deliver a safer product here. As Appright is built, as Appright is released, it does help make Appright more secure for everyone. New SDKs are always appreciated, and within this one as well, we would hope to see folks join in and help contribute to some new SDKs such as Golang to help make Appright more agnostic and accessible to any developer in our community and beyond, regardless of their preference of tech stack. And last but by no means the least, adapters are going to be a big feature of the kind of contributions. Now, as of now, we have created a variety of issues where we were taking contributions for different storage adapters, as well as some adapters for our upcoming messaging service. And what this would allow folks to do is, as you self-host Appright for yourself, it would let you connect certain external services to your Appright instance to help you maintain and sustain better control of your information. Or if you would like to use any providers that you like, it allows you the ability to do so. So, for example, already for our storage adapters, we have certain adapters and integrations in place, like one for DigitalOcean Spaces, and we definitely hope to see more and more contributions on this front. To find any open issues that we have, you can either scan this QR or there is a link on the screen as well. And this would show you all the open issues we have available for Hacktoberfest. Regarding how our contribution process goes, we have followed a process very similar to most standard open source projects, since that's where our roots lie as well. The process on how to contribute to Appright starts by picking an issue. For this particular month, we are going to be taking contributions on issues that are labeled with Hacktoberfest. And by the way, we already have more than 100 issues labeled accordingly. These are the ones that will be participating in Hacktoberfest. So when you are searching, please make sure to have this label selected for yourself. By the way, if you did scan the QR earlier, you will directly be able to view all the issues we have across different repositories of Appright that have issues labeled with Hacktoberfest. So that should make life a little easier there. Once, of course, you've picked out an issue, the next step is to claim an issue. And the way you would claim that is by coming to an issue and commenting that you would like to participate. At the moment, we are assigning issues on a first come, first serve basis. A few things that you should keep in mind here is that we are going to be assigning issues to a contributor one at a time. So it's always a good practice to maybe pick out one or two issues, message there, instead of going ahead and commenting on 10, 20 of these. Because we do want to make sure that we're allowing a variety of contributors, as many contributors as possible, to give and contribute down to it, right? So it's always a good idea to be respectful there and maybe pick out one or two issues. And yes, in case we have any contributors who are assigned, who are unable to participate, we will be reassigning issues constantly throughout the month as well. Once, of course, you've been assigned an issue, you can go ahead and make your contribution by submitting a pull request on GitHub. This review process, of course, could take a little bit of time because we do expect a big mass of contributions throughout the month. So in this, I would urge that anyone who's contributing here to remain patient. And yes, in case you do have an idea for an issue that might not have been listed already, you can always join our Discord server. We do have a dedicated Hacktoberfest channel there as well. We're going to have all the Appright core team members present there as well, and you can interact with us and share any suggestions you might have. With that said, we definitely are looking forward to all the contributions we see from the community. We do have plans for rewards for contributors as well, such as we do have some special swags that we will be sharing, which will come with our redesign incorporated, and so that there are some cool swags that we will be sharing with our contributors this month. And in case anyone would like to join in the fun, you can always check us out on our website. We do have a very active Twitter handle, and yes, our GitHub community and Discord communities are ones to be around. So do stay active with us and join the fun. Thank you so much.
There we go. Thank you very much. I love Appright's story. They are like just the best success story of Hacktoberfest I think we've ever had. Just like their entire company is basically founded on Hacktoberfest contributions. Chris, you're muted.
And the recent redesign, like sometimes you just see a redesign and you're like, why'd they do that? And then sometimes you see a redesign and it's like, wow, that is like everything that the company is like manifested in design form.
Mhm.
And I think that's what they did this recent time.
Yeah, so their redesign is really clean. I'm loving it. Alrighty.
All right.
Chris, have we got another Hacktoberfest hurdle coming up?
I do. And this one, ChatGPT kind of threw a big question in, a big front end question in, and I said, you know what, let's do it. So this question, this Hacktoberfest. What's that?
That feels unfair. This feels weighted.
Yeah, and it started giving like too many front end questions, so I'm like, all right, we got to like go the other way. So there will be, I guess, not front end questions. All right, chat.
No one knows that.
No one knows this, but
no one knows that.
I had trouble answering it myself.
I think we've been duped here. This is ridiculous.
Are you answering the question there, Matt? This is ridiculous.
I think Eddie's coming in with an E again.
I'm quite liking D actually. The next object. That's pretty good. I mean, maybe it's just some chat GPT involved. Yeah, exactly. It's coming up with what's next. I like that. I want to go with D.
All right, we got a D.
How ChatGPT thinks this works.
It sounds like a lot of A's, and I'll tell you what ChatGPT said, because this is the one where I was like, hey, what is this answer? So the answer ChatGPT gave me was it was not any of A, B, C, or D, which is interesting.
I knew it. It was E. I knew it was E.
You got to stick with your gut on that one.
I mean,
yeah, it said refers to the existing object or something like that. It basically wasn't any of the above.
So A and B are kind of correct here. The issue is this changes depending on how you're using it.
I was gonna say, is the current object the object you're in, or the one that you are referencing?
See, that's what confused me as well.
If you're in, we're going to nerd out for a second here.
There's like true engineers discussing tech here.
If you're in an object in JavaScript and you write a function within an object, this will refer to that object.
Okay.
So that would be A. You're referring to the current object. If you're in a function in the global scope, so you're just writing a normal function, this will refer to the global object. Except if you're running in strict mode, then it will be undefined. And there's also a load of other edge cases where if you inside an object, it gets really messy. And if you write like an arrow function instead of a normal function, this doesn't get bound. And you can also use like bind methods to override what this is and so on. It's really messy. People should stop using this.
So Eddie was right here. E.
Yes, Eddie was probably closest.
Yeah, I think for chat, everybody in chat, if it's A, you did good. And anybody that did not A, B, C, or D, or not B, C, or D, anything beyond D is also good. So there's a lot of E's in chat. There's a T from Blair.
I feel like I need to open up a workers' comp thing for this. I feel bad. I don't like this.
I love the T. Is that T's for generics, right? I love that.
T
that
is
is
generally used for generics and TypeScript.
Brilliant. That's my favorite answer.
And I'm going to quickly answer this question live so everyone knows. If you join late, yes, this will be on our YouTube channel afterwards. So it's going. We're live broadcasting through MLH and on YouTube, and then this will be on demand on YouTube forever. So if you want to go and listen to speaker presentations before or the chaos that was us at the start, you're more welcome to later on.
Did Matt went a bit roboty there for everybody else? Was he proving? Oh, was it just me?
Yeah, we got a peek behind the curtain.
That seems like it, yeah.
Our next partner is Holopin with Elena. Did I say that right? Elena? Which?
Elena, yeah.
Elena, cool. Welcome.
Thank you. Really cool to be here. We were at Hacktoberfest at the 2022 event, and we were issuing lots of digital badges, and folks seem to be really happy with them. So we're super excited to be back for another year. And I'm excited also to share with you today what we've got in store for you this year and what's different. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the screen sharing. Let's see. Awesome. Great. So if you haven't heard of Holopin before, or you haven't registered for Hacktoberfest just yet, Holopin is a way to create and issue digital badges. The digital badges can be put on your badge board, which can then be put on your GitHub README, in your websites, etc., etc. And they can also be shared individually on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and various other social media. They act as verifiable credentials, meaning they're all unique. Each badge has a unique URL and a unique ID, but they're not NFTs. We get asked this sometimes. So you can see on this user's badge board all the badges that were awarded last year for the Hacktoberfest contributions. You could get one for each PR accepted. But what's new this year? So if you have already registered for Hacktoberfest, you will notice some really cool designs that the DigitalOcean and Hacktoberfest team came up with. So each time you create a pull request that'll get accepted, and also when you register for the event initially, you get an exclusive digital badge, and they all go from levels 0 to 4. I need to learn my programming indices. But that's not it. So you notice that it's got a little avatar and you can change its color and all that jazz. But every time you get a pull request accepted, you unlock a different customization from your avatar. So it all starts from top to bottom. Here's a little preview. We won't show you exactly what you can do, but your final avatar might look something like this. And there are tons of different ways to personalize and customize it and pick different colors. So we're excited to, add a bit more of gamification, this like Neopets Club Penguin style to the badges. Another thing is, as Hacktoberfest moves away from physical rewards, so t-shirts, we're introducing digital reward kits. So those who complete Hacktoberfest, meaning those who get all of their 4 pull requests accepted, will receive a super secret but super cool digital reward kit in their email inbox. And that will contain various gifts from partners, sponsors, DigitalOcean, and from us as well. So that will all be unveiled very soon. And then last but not least, we're introducing a Hall of Fame or a badge board of fame. So those who, again, complete Hacktoberfest will be featured on a public page along with their Holopin profile, their bio, and it's just something nice to, have a permanent record for yourself as, I was there, I did it, and I love open source. If you're a maintainer who wants to issue your own digital badges, we do have a GitHub bot, and you can find out more about our plans on holopin.io/pricing. And if you're tuning in here right now and you'd like to receive this exclusive digital badge of Peggy the Pegasaurus waving the Hacktoberfest flag, scan this QR code and go ahead. And I think that's it. How do I stop screen?
So cool. The designs are fantastic. Absolutely love them. And just checked out the homepage. The live feed of people getting their badges is really, really slick.
Sorry, we're all quiet because we're all busy scanning that code, that last code. I've got my phone here. I'm scanning it.
That was a sneaky QR code. I didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, I didn't manage to get that QR code, so I'm gonna have to replay the whole video again.
I'll say, luckily, this is recorded on YouTube, so you can all go back and
Exactly.
claim that later. There you go, yeah. Holopin, what a wonderful partner. And they are making so much of Hacktoberfest possible this year through all the digital badges.
I got really distracted. All of these little avatars and stickers are the cutest thing I've seen in a couple of days, so it's amazing. That's why I just glossed over for a second. I'm back now.
There we go. Chris, have we got another hurdle?
We've got another hurdle. And this one, I'm going to just rely on everybody. I didn't even read the options, to be honest. So let's see what happens.
Listen, unplugging the server solves all of your problems. Nothing's more secure than a thing no one can reach.
It's true. So
I
D
was
should
gonna say.
always be correct.
I think this is another ready answer here. It's E.
E for Eddie. You're going to be right sometimes.
E for Eddie. The answer is go outside and get some fresh air.
You know, I think ChatGPT at this point is kind of just being sarcastic with us. You know, just disable JavaScript, unplug the server.
Pack it up, go home.
All right, what's the consensus here? We've got a Z in chat.
Oh, this question seems to be a bit quieter from people responding. It's quite interesting. People are thinking.
I say people are thinking this through, yeah.
Or typing it into ChatGPT.
That's a good point. You could cheat by opening up your own ChatGPT and just typing these in.
Is the question what is correct or what ChatGPT thinks is correct?
Chris, do you even have an answer for this?
I don't have an answer for this.
Well, there we go.
I have two answers.
Yeah, we're getting two answers, A and B.
I mean, D is technically correct.
I think a lot of these are
D
technically
is the
correct.
most correct.
D is
I
the
would
most
argue.
correct. I mean, and again, engineers being very specific there.
But if anyone at StreamYard or YouTube is reading this, don't do D just yet. We just need to finish the live stream, and then you
Do
can
it
unplug it all.
afterwards,
Yeah.
Like Phoebe's answer, unplug it and plug it back in. Turn it off and on again, as always. That's the answer.
I like Blair's answer as well. There's so many times where I have to talk to ChatGPT and say, "Hey, that was not correct," and then it goes, "Oh, you're right. Let me redo that."
Yeah, I think that's the best answer we've got so far. The wording is slightly wrong. Like A is correct, right? You prepared statements is the way to avoid SQL injection for the most part. But then B, C, and D had cross-site scripting. Sure, you could turn off JavaScript and you'd probably be safe then, but you probably want JavaScript still.
This is one where all of them are different degrees of correct, and just
Yep.
one of them is the most correct.
Yeah. Right. No, yeah. I think unplugging the server is the best option.
Yep.
Just solves every
D
problem.
gets it.
I'll be honest, when I was a teenager and we were still on dial-up and stuff, I did do that because I only had a 60% understanding of how internet connections actually worked. So someone tried to essentially scare me in a chat, like, yeah, I can go find your information. I'm like, no, you can't. And I unplugged my modem. I was 13, okay?
I have a funny 13-year-old story. I got one of
You're
those.
you're telling me the internet doesn't work like that?
I got one of
Everyone
those.
in this chat, you are not the one to make that joke. Excuse me. D is the people's chant, but I love that.
Yeah, D is the people's champ. Also E for Eddie. All right, let's just jump into our next partner. I think the other questions coming up are as ambiguous, so we'll look forward to those. Our next partner is Mary from Major League Hacking.
Hello, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, Mary?
I am doing well. I am super excited to be here. I will go ahead and jump into my slides, but just to introduce myself super quick, my name's Mary. I use she, her pronouns, and I work on first-party events at Major League Hacking. So what that means is I work on some of the events we run in-house. So our digital hackathons, our annual organizer conference. Before I worked here, I was a hackathon organizer. I helped organize a student hackathon called Hack K-State, which was my introduction into the community. For those of you who aren't familiar with MLH, I just want to take a second to talk about what we do. We run the global hacker community, and it's our mission to empower hackers all across the world. We're a public benefit corporation and a B Corp. If you aren't familiar with what these designations mean, it means that we put our mission above all else at the organization. And that mission, like I mentioned, is to empower hackers. So we know there's a huge gap between what it takes to launch into a career in tech and what students are currently learning in the classroom. And so our work really surrounds helping to kind of bridge the gap and give anyone who's interested in jumping into tech the resources that they need to go ahead and do that and go change the world through technology. I'm super proud of the work we do and the community that we have. There's over 500,000 hackers in our community. We have incredible folks all across the world, mentors who are helping out newer folks in the community, as well as folks who are, day one in their journey. If you ever have attended an MLH event or want to in the future, you are part of this community, and we want to be with you along the way as a hacker. So all of that is awesome. How do we actually, go about empowering hackers? I want to talk really briefly just about a couple of the programs we run to make all of that happen. The first one is our member event program. So every year we run over 250 member event hackathons. These are incredible events that are hosted by students, and we work with them to put on really life-changing hackathons. If you have not been to one of these yet, I highly recommend it. Additionally, we facilitate the MLH Fellowship. This is a 12-week internship alternative open to folks across the world. You can work on open source projects. You get to make production level contributions to products that are actively in production. And you also earn a stipend for this program. And the final one I want to touch on briefly is our Global Hack Week program. Every single month, we run a Global Hack Week where we pick a theme and we spend the week diving into it through workshops, through live streams. These are a ton of fun, and I'm going to talk about the one we have coming up in October in just a few slides. But before that, I want to just talk kind of at broad about what we're doing with Hacktoberfest this year. I am super excited. The first thing I want to call out is the official Hacktoberfest events page. If you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you go and look at it. We are hosting those events on our registration platform, Organizer HQ. So if you are interested in hosting an official Hacktoberfest event, our team would love to work with you and help you get that up on the official events page. There are so many cool events happening that are already up on that page, so make sure to go check those out. And in addition to that, we are hosting a Global Hack Week all centered around open source. This is coming up October 16th through 23rd. Would love to have all of you come and join us for it. There's going to be over 50 live streams throughout the week. And we really have an awesome variety of ones for folks who are just getting started with open source and for folks who have been doing this for quite some time. A couple of those that I wanted to call out. On Monday, the 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, our friends here at DigitalOcean are going to be hosting a workshop on our Twitch. Yep. Right after that on Monday, we're going to do a stream on how to make your very first open source contribution. So make sure you check those two out. And then I wanted to call another, maybe for folks who are a little bit more advanced. We have a session happening that Friday, the 20th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on understanding the differences between open source and Creative Commons and how you can use both of those in hackathon projects. But that is just a very, very small snapshot of what's actually happening throughout the week. You can add the entire schedule of Global Hack Week events to your Google Calendar. If you head to this link, it's hackp.ac/GHW calendar. So go ahead and add that, and then you can see everything in your own time zone. We have stuff happening nearly 24 hours a day, so there is something that will fit into your schedule. Last but certainly not least, I know that y'all love swag, so I wanted to make sure I called out. We're going to ship out 5,000 sets of postcards and stickers to folks who join Global Hack Week. So if you are interested in getting any stickers from us, I would love to send you some. We ship these everywhere in the world, so not limited at all by region. And these are going to go to the first 5,000 folks who check into Global Hack Week. So just quickly dropping the last two bits of information here. If you haven't registered for Global Hack Week yet, you can at hackp.ac/GHW. And then those dates again are October 16th through 23rd. And with that, if you have any questions from me, please feel free to shoot me an email at hacktoberfest@mlh.io. Would love to help you get started with Global Hack Week or with hosting one of those official Hacktoberfest meetups. But that is everything from me.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks a lot, Mary. Love what MLH are doing. I met some of the people back in February, I believe, and they were all very excited about open source. Definitely check out. For first timers, what they do is just amazing. The way they help them get going is great.
It really is, and I mean, then also like the Hacktoberfest events, seeing so many people come together for that as well. I hadn't looked at the event list in a while. I've just pulled it up, and there are so many local Hacktoberfest events that are planned and on MLH. So if you're looking to go and have an in-person event with someone or an online event, take a look at that. There is quite a good chance that there's already one happening near you, and if there isn't, organize it yourself. We've got all the resources on the website for doing that.
I love that. It's open source is great, but it's much better with friends. So absolutely join one of the events in person or virtually like you recommended. I think that's awesome.
Chris,
yes.
Do you have yet another hurdle for us?
I do.
Which everybody's going to get wrong.
It's actually not so bad. This one's pretty good. What is the purpose of a Git rebase? I should have had this one just be an open-ended,
an essay question.
Blank. Yeah, an essay portion of the quiz.
Honestly, you could write an essay on what Git rebase can do.
Yeah, when to use it, when not to use it, more importantly. I think everyone gets excited because, oh, I figured out Git rebase. I'm trying not to give away too many answers here. And then like apply it to everything. And like, oh, everyone's got conflicts. Like, you don't always want to apply it.
Force merge. You'll be fine.
With great power comes a great responsibility.
I thought everybody just deletes what they did and then re-downloads the repo again to start over. That's the only thing you do, right?
I don't do that. I just do like 100 commits. Typo fix ?
My favorite thing is eventually if you see someone commit a lot at one time, the commit messages become more and more unhinged as it goes down. And it's like, I don't know why. Did this work? Well, this didn't work. Did this other thing work?
Yeah.
And those are my favorite commitments.
I like the one. Yeah, hope this works.
Yeah, please work.
The worst one is when you're going to bed and I'll just commit this, and so, work in progress, not working, and so forth. Wake up in the
Don't
morning
merge
and it's
this.
it's working, and you're like, nothing's changed. How come it didn't work yesterday and now it's suddenly working? I mean, you're happy, but you're also a bit nervous.
That's funny because mine goes the other way. It's working at night, and then I wake up and everything's broken.
That can happen too. Yeah.
Chris just has a.
You don't need all that other stuff.
Yeah, Chris just got a newborn, so might be something going on there during the night.
Yeah.
With your repositories.
Yeah.
The baby gets up in the middle of the night in order to do random commits.
Don't you mean fix Chris's code? The baby fixes the code.
The true power behind Chris's productivity.
Say, hey, my code is fixed, but my keyboard just got water on it, just drool on it. It's broken now.
And it's sticky.
But the code works.
I think chat mostly got this right. The answer here is B. Git rebase has two main powers, which is the ability to rewrite the history of a branch. So let's say you did 100 work in progress commits. You can go back in there and kind of squash them all down, or even shuffle the order, or go back in time and just edit one of those commits. And the other one is kind of applying changes from one branch into another. So quite often you'll have it where you've got like a pull request open, someone else makes a change in main, and then you want to rebase your branch so you're up to date with what's changed in main. And so rebase is for that as well.
If you want something fun to do, try to explain that to someone who's still on Subversion and is trying to migrate over, so they have to learn 2 new things at once.
Mm-hmm. As in Eddie just put in the chat as well, yeah, never do a rebase on a shared branch, because then suddenly you'll be out of sync with everyone else.
How to make other people cry.
Yep. But I said, if you've got your own little branch, rebase is a really powerful tool for kind of keeping your commit history nice and clean. There we go.
There we go.
I think that was our first hurdle that was like ChatGPT got the answer correct.
Yeah, I think and kind of the tell is when one answer is like triple the length of the other answers, it's usually the right one.
Mm-hmm.
It also helps Git, at least in its command structure, is kind of self-explanatory. A lot of the times, it's like, this is going to delete everything. This is going to force everything. This is going to merge everything. As opposed to, again, if you go to Subversion, you just have to know what it's doing ahead of time and hope you don't break stuff.
Yeah.
And then you will.
Like, Git rebase in its name tells you kind of what it's doing. It's changing the base of your work. But it can also
has
do
a
other
lot
stuff.
of overloaded concepts and words. So when something just does the thing that you expect it to do, it feels like a miracle.
It feels like a trick.
Couldn't possibly.
Next up, we have a fantastic speaker. We have Wanpa from GitHub Education.
Oh, we got the cameo. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all good. I'm really excited to hear more about like Git questions. I always expect that at some point someone is going to ask about Git rebase because it's one of those questions that it feels sometimes hard to answer. But really excited to be joining you for another Hacktoberfest, Hacktoberfest 10. Well,
10.
It's been a lot. I mean, my first Hacktoberfest was probably Hacktoberfest 5, which is showing my age, but definitely like it's one of my favorite events across the year, not only because it offers like a great opportunity to learn and make mistakes and work together with other people, but also because it always brings a big part of our community together to work on projects or just to be able to teach the next generation of developers how they can get involved into open source. So I can take it to go if that's okay with you, Chris and Amy.
Yeah. Take it away.
Hey, everyone. Great to see you again this year. My name is Juan Pablo Flores, and I work here at the small but mighty GitHub Education team, where our job is to help the next generation of developers to better prepare before they graduate. And there's a ton of ways in which we do that. So today I wanted to share with you a little bit of like what we do, but also some of the events and initiatives that we have for Hacktoberfest this year, so that you can make that first open source contribution and get all those awesome Holopin badges on your profile. So first things first, a big part of working in tech is trying out like new technologies. And as probably some of you might know, sometimes running like servers and all of that jazz might be a little bit costly. So one of the things that we've been working on for the last probably like 8 years has been GitHub Global Campus, well, especially the GitHub Student Developer Pack. So first thing you'll have to do is come to education.github.com and join us on Global Campus. In essence, this is the student community. We have millions of students who are a part of it. So make sure you get yourself involved and get to interact with each other. Once you sign up and you get all of your stuff all set, in essence, you need to prove or show any proof of like an academic ID, or you can use your academic email for that. You'll get access to Global Campus. And here you'll see, if you're just getting started, for example, you can have your intro to GitHub, the GitHub flow. We can teach you a little bit more about code spaces and other stuff. We have events happening all the time. So as you might know, like we're on Hacktoberfest 2023. And especially this year, we wanted to help you contribute, especially if you're a student, to an open source project. And what we did this year is that we have this awesome thing called Community Exchange. And Community Exchange is a compilation of open source projects that are built or maintained by other students from across the world. And here we have something around 1,600 projects that you can get yourself started with. You can find one that aligns to what you feel the most comfortable. It can be like in a specific topic, in a specific programming language. So make sure to explore these. And we have all sorts of projects, from projects that might be like getting started to projects on GitHub that have like thousands of stars and people contributing to it. So you would be surprised of, first of all, getting a 404 where you're doing a live demo, but most importantly, you would be surprised with the number of open source projects that are maintained by students that are used by like hundreds of developers across the world. And if you're a student, of course, this can be a great way for you to not only connect with other students, but also find a little bit more of a safety, kind of like a safe place to make that first contribution. As you know, sometimes it can be a little bit less overwhelming to contribute to a project maintained by other students. So definitely take a look into that. The other thing that I wanted to cover is a little bit of the Student Developer Pack. So I don't know if we can get like, there's a link there. If you go to gh.io/Hacktoberfest23, you'll get faster access to the GitHub Student Developer Pack. So what does the pack has? So it has tens of tools completely for free for you to use. So you know, shameless plug here to the DigitalOcean team. You can get access to like DigitalOcean services and a ton of other things for you to either start implementing at your projects or start working or learning, or just like if you want to explore something new, this is a great way to go. There's both like tools and learning resources that you can use. So make sure to take some time. There's some really nice filters here on the top. We also have kind of like something called experiences, which are a compilation of these tools so that you can build something from scratch using more than one of these tools, and you can make or learn the real value of these tools. So take a look into those as well. And the really cool thing about the GitHub Student Developer Pack is that you get access to two things that I'm really excited of. The first one is, of course, a GitHub Pro account for free. But the second one is that you get free GitHub Copilot. So and now, well, we have a third one, which is GitHub Copilot Chat. GitHub Copilot Chat is a VS Code extension that you can install on, VS Code and use it to answer questions that you have around the code, or get like some, I don't know, any type of like questions that you have about like the code or the specific kind of like file that you're looking to. You can do that through Copilot Chat. And it could be a great way to find ways in which you can improve a piece of code, or if you're already contributing to an open source project, it can be a great way for you to learn how you can get started or get involved. Last but not least, we have a series of events happening as well. This past Tuesday, we had a great conversation with Sanskar, the maintainer of Robin, which is an open source project that in essence is building like a web engine. He built this project as a student, so he was telling us all about it. And you can see here we're talking about how to make a valid open source contribution to Hacktoberfest so that you can get all those Holopin pins or stickers. And throughout the month, we're having events on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So tomorrow, we're going to be having a conversation with Brittany. She is a developer advocate at Contentful, and she's going to tell us all about how to learn how to use Git and GitHub while contributing to Emoji Screen. This is an awesome project, and I'm really excited to join tomorrow and teach you more about the basics of Git, GitHub, and the GitHub flow. Then we're going to have a beautiful conversation with Aditya, who was here a few hours ago, a few minutes ago, on making healthy contributions to open source projects. We're going to have Eddie talking about careers in tech, and we're going to be exploring beyond just like code. So we have Denny Perez from the Python Software Foundation telling us more about how can you get involved with the Python Software Foundation and what they do. We have non-code contributions as well, coming up with Ramon Guidobro on how you can contribute with like design, or if you want to contribute with documentation or something that is not code related, how can you make that happen by the end of the month? So take a look into like our social media. We have GitHub. You can go to GitHub Education and GitHub as well on X/Twitter. And we'll have all the information being posted there. We also have a great interview, I think, between this and the next week with Free Code Camp so that you can get to know the career of the project. So join us in Global Campus, join us in GitHub Education. We're here to make sure that you are successful, and we want to be there to help you out during this month. So you can always reach out on whatever social media platform works for you, or you can also join our community discussions on GitHub as well. We have GitHub discussions enabled for you to make any questions that you have. So also go there, and we would love to chat with you and get to know what projects you're contributing, or if you're having any trouble, help you out to sort that out.
Perfect. Thanks, Wampa. And I have to drop another link to the student developer pack in the chat, because I feel like it's such a great resource that we should be pasting that thing in like every 10 minutes.
We really should. I know. Like, if you look at, Hacktoberfest's aim has been to get people into open source, but we are nothing in comparison to what the GitHub Education team do. They are the absolute champs of getting students involved in open source for the first time.
Absolutely. And those resources like Copilot, fantastic. Copilot chat, if you ever want to have some fun, just give it your entire file and say like, what's wrong with this? And if you think you have like a perfect file, it'll find like great things that you can improve. I find it to be a really good learning experience for myself.
Oh, that's super interesting. I got access, and I don't. No one shouted at me, but I haven't enabled it and tried it yet. But after that comment, I'm going to do it today.
Right on. Yeah. And I find that I like highlight things and just say fix, and it'll go ahead and like give me better code, or I'll get the error message from like, let's say browser console, and I'll say, here's my problem, here's the code, and then it just fixes it. It's really, really intuitive. So definitely check it out. Really good resource.
Yeah, as and that student pack gives you so many perks. I mean, there's infrastructure credits from a whole bunch of cloud providers, including DigitalOcean. There's so many resources in there. It's such a wonderful tool. So a huge thank you to the GitHub Education team and to the GitHub team generally, because Hacktoberfest wouldn't be possible without the team at GitHub, who kind of let us cause a bit of chaos on their platform every year.
Sometimes a lot of chaos, but always good. Cool. So let's jump into some Q&A. So everybody in chat, if you've had questions over the course of the stream, please throw them at us. We're all happy to answer.
Favorite part. I love questions.
Especially
Remember
the
all-
ones that stumped me. The ones that I have no clue. I'm like,
It's okay. Don't worry. We've got Matt GPT on the live stream, so we can direct all the difficult questions towards Matt.
Oh no.
I think it's also fine to see that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me GPT it, or
Absolutely.
yeah.
So Heather, I think you're asking about like the student developer pack. Is there anything that's for non-students?
That's an interesting question. I think in terms of infrastructure credit and like the perks of the student pack, I think there's less of that available to regular people that aren't students. I mean, a lot of cloud providers have like free trial offers and stuff. Like DigitalOcean has one. So you can play around with that if you want to try some stuff out. And like in terms of the resources, I think a lot of the stuff in the student pack is actually accessible to anyone. And like GitHub also, like I think they have GitHub still run open-source.dev, I think, right? That has a load of guides on it. Yeah, GitHub have so many resources across a few of their documentation sites. So all of that is accessible to anyone.
I think it's a bit like people when they create courses, they say, all my content is free on my YouTube channel, but it's just videos kind of over the years. Whereas when they create a course, they kind of like, put it together methodically. So maybe with the student pack, it's just really well kind of, organized, it's there. But like you're saying, it's all kind of available. You just have to kind of go and find it and go to specific cloud providers and so forth.
This is an interesting question. I think what it's asking here is like, so DSA, data structure and algorithms, can repositories like that join? Generally, we kind of actually discourage those repositories for Hacktoberfest. Like as a way to get into open source, they're quite often great. They'll teach you like the flow of how to contribute to open source, and you don't really have to think about what you're contributing. You just have a bit of a code snippet that you can contribute. But for Hacktoberfest, we try to focus on kind of making some quality contributions to legitimate projects that need that help. The whole idea of Hacktoberfest is giving back to open source projects that need help. And so we generally try to avoid encouraging people to go towards like these DSA repos and so on. We'd rather you spend the time actually helping a project that needs help rather than just copy pasting a code snippet into a random repository that's got a massive folder of files.
Come and geek out with us on some open source projects.
Where else have we got? What other questions have we got here?
So where should you start? Oh, okay. We're going through all of them. I think where should you start? Find something you want to get involved in, passionate about, the technology you are about, an open source technology you're really passionate about, and look at the issues section and see if there's any Hacktoberfest labels on it, and start from there. And then just ask the community. Ping Eddie on Twitter. Ask Chris. Ask Matt GPT on how to do stuff. Look around. The community is there to help you. Hacktoberfest is basically wanting to help each other. Big community helping each other to get into open source. So don't be afraid.
A good place to look is the hacktoberfest.com website. If you go to participation up here at the very top, this first nav item here, you scroll down and you get to resources for beginners. This first one right here, these first two actually, the GitHub Hacktoberfest projects and the GitLab Hacktoberfest projects. If you click on those, these are all the repos that, zoom in, that have the Hacktoberfest label that you can kind of scroll through. You can sort by your language and start digging in there.
There's a fair few of repositories just on GitHub alone.
Just a casual 132,000.
Yeah, that are participating, which is great. I think it's awesome.
Just one thing I would say, because I have heard some stories where some repos, aren't so friendly, aren't getting that kind of support. I would recommend great suggestions by everybody. Definitely follow those. But I'll say when you find a project, before you get started, read the contributing guide. Make sure they do want contributions, and also just go to the pull request tab and right at the top, and then you'll have another kind of tab section underneath. Go to the closed ones, and then it'll list all the closed pull requests. And by closed, it will list merged, so accepted, and closed, rejected. Click on the closed and not accepted one. It'll be a red icon. Absolutely fine, they've been closed, but just check the conversation's quite friendly, and make sure the project's friendly. Do a bit of due diligence, because it's a bit off-putting for anybody if you contribute, you invest your time, and you don't get feedback on why it wasn't accepted. So read the contributing guide and do a little bit of due diligence and just have a read.
Yeah, and then I think the only other thing I'd plug there as well is again, on the Hacktoberfest website, you've got the participation page, which has a load of resources. And if you're still stuck, we've also got a Discord server with like 65,000 people in it that are more than happy to help you out. We've also actually got a project sharing channel in there as well, where hundreds of people each day are sharing their open source projects that are looking for contributions. So if you're completely stuck on ideas of where to get started and what project to go for, have a look in there as well and see if anything takes your fancy.
And on top of Eddie's, once you're looking through a repo and you look through the issues, any repo that kind of has first time or like beginner labels, I think those are really good because they've put in the work to say like, oh, these are probably good entry points.
Yeah.
Question from Tasmia. What is the difference
between the Hacktoberfest label and the Hacktoberfest accept? Okay, right. Here we go. We're gonna do a brief explainer of how the rules of Hacktoberfest work. So the Hacktoberfest label doesn't matter for Hacktoberfest. To put it really simply, we don't look at that label at all. So repositories opt in with the Hacktoberfest topic. So that's not a label or an issue or a pull request. That is a topic on the repository itself. If you're in the GitHub UI, it shows up underneath the repository description in the right-hand side. So the topic is needed for a repository to opt in. Alternatively, if a repository isn't opted in for some reason, but let's say they want to have a few specific pull requests count towards Hacktoberfest, that is what the Hacktoberfest accepted label is for. It is an alternative method of opting in that can be applied to an individual pull request instead. And then it also gets used as a slightly different mechanism as well. On an opted-in repository that has the topic, the Hacktoberfest accepted label can be added to an open pull request to make it count for Hacktoberfest. So normally we only count pull requests that have been merged or approved, but you can also add that label if you want your pull request to be counted when it hasn't yet been merged or approved. So say you're a maintainer of a big project and you haven't got time this month to actually go through and review a pull request, but you want it to be counted so that the person that made the pull request gets their rewards, you can stick that label on it and it will be counted on our end. So really, generally speaking, you're looking for that Hacktoberfest topic and then just your pull request being approved or merged. And that Hacktoberfest accepted label can be used for kind of those extra edge cases where things aren't quite following the standard Git flow. I hope that made sense to everyone. Let me know in chat if you need further clarification on something.
I think for first-time users, the most important one is the Hacktoberfest label in the issues section. And then the maintainer might decide to change that to the Hacktoberfest accepted label.
Yep. I want to call this one out from Kim. And maybe Eddie, do you want to?
Thank you so much. Biodrop. Thanks for the shout out, everyone. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we actually built this on a live stream. It was previously known as Linkfree. It got named on a live stream about, I think, 2 years ago. And I can't remember if it was during Hacktoberfest or not, but it was just an open source alternative to Linktree as it started out. And I woke up the next morning to hundreds of pull requests. It was just amazing. And then this year we've taken it really seriously. We've rebranded to Biodrop. We got on the GitHub Accelerator program to help us to kind of level up the project, make it more professional. And I've been working on it full time this year with Sarah as well. And we've got awesome maintainers and awesome communities. So if you want to work on a project that it has got people working on it full time, and we've got issues that are like 1 point, so kind of good first issues, and even 2 points that are also good first issues, but a little bit more work. And we go all the way up, to many more points if you really want to get kind of stuck into kind of bigger tasks. Entirely up to you. And the pointing system, I appreciate the points mean nothing to you, but 3 points is more than 1 point, and it's just a bit more complex, a bit more work. And that way people can try and level up. So it's great to see people start off with 1 or 2 points, and then they go to 3, and then you can see them doing like 5 and like really big features and so forth. So we've got full automation. You can help out in so many ways. Coding if you want. We're using Next.js, React, Playwright for automated testing. We've got whole DevOps, automation, we get actions. We've got people doing that. We've got people from loads of your favorite companies as well getting involved. So it's a great way to work on a real world project. And we'd just love to geek out with you. We do live streams, Discord, community calls, pairing sessions. We've got a pairing session on Sunday with Jen from the community. It's her first time, I think, doing a live stream and contributing to Biodrop. So we're just going to pair and all learn together. So any questions, let me know. Like I said, I love questions, but I only have one favor to ask everyone. If you're going to ask a question, which I hope you do, because I love questions, please ask it in public on GitHub or Discord. I just really appreciate doing it in public so other people can get involved in the discussion and learn from it as well.
That is the way. I very much dislike people when they DM me questions. I'm like, no, ask that in the public channel, because then everyone can see the question and benefit from the answer.
Exactly. It's a great way for people to network. I find different times, we're all in different time zones. It's great that other people can answer. They don't have to wait for that one person if you DM them, and then you kind of make friends, and there's just so many benefits doing everything in public. So yeah, absolutely.
There we go. What other questions have we got? I think that was a question about the satellite session that's coming up tomorrow, right?
Yes. Let me, so we have, I'm like moving things around. We have some more events coming for the rest of this month. It is Hacktoberfest. So I'm going to throw some links up here. We have an event that is tomorrow. Satellite session number 1, what's new in open source developer tools. So we would love for you all to join us. Can we drop a link in chat as well?
We certainly can. Let me grab it. Is this the link? This is the link. There we go. It's going. There's the link for satellite session number 1. It's a nice short link. So yeah, that'll be what's new in open source tools. We'll have some more of our sponsors presenting kind of what they're doing, so you can get involved with their projects as well. And then I think we're going to have a bit of a roundtable discussion afterwards, kind of just chatting about some new tools and where the open source industry is going.
Yes, and so I'm just checking out. We have Yuval from Amplification, we have Sebastian from RunMe, and we have Beka from OpenSauced. And the host side, we have Lisa coming in, who is a longtime DigitalOcean Hacktoberfest. She's on the advisory council. So definitely RSVP, we'd love to see you there. And I'm going to leave these links up, and please throw in some more questions, any and all questions in chat. We've got another one from Ethan here. I think this is a great question. I'm decent with Go, but learning TypeScript, would contributing to TypeScript Hacktoberfest repos be a good way to help learn the language?
Yes.
I love this question.
In short, yes.
Yes, definitely.
Go find a TypeScript repo that's got a good first issue in it. Don't aim for something big. Just find, even just like fixing a single tiny little bug. But they use that as an opportunity to go and like poke around the code base, learn the language a bit, and fix that bug. And you'll learn a lot just by fixing one little bug.
And just to add to that, I love that. And you're right. Start small, set yourself up to succeed. And if you find a project that you like and you want to continue to, then try and invest a bit more time next time on the same project. Like, don't jump around too many projects. The reason why I say that is, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit each time you contribute to TypeScript, I think that's great. And then if the maintainers see that you're around to stick around and you're invested in their project, then when you do want to take on a bigger task and you say, I need a bit of help with this, but I want to do it, they can see that you're there to stick around. They're going to invest more time in you as well. So find a project you like, get involved in TypeScript and set yourself up to success, and then just keep leveling up. Literally in a few weeks, you'll be doing like a lot more than you realize.
Yeah. So real quick, kind of like a quick flow for how I think this could go, right? Like, you go to the Hacktoberfest projects on GitHub, you scroll down to language, go ahead and filter by TypeScript. Scroll down. Let's see. I was checking these out earlier, actually. And Docusaurus, really cool project to help create open source documentation websites. Love their mascot, so I've always been a fan. Go over to issues. And then under labels, kind of just scroll through. And one that I like to look for is good first issue. So it seems like they have 6 open for good first issue. In a TypeScript project, these could be a good way to like get your feet into the pond and see if that works. But definitely try to pick a project that, shouts out to you. And they got me with their mascot.
As it looks like actually this Docusaurus have got quite a few different labels going here that you could look to. Like they've got this good first issue, but it also looks like they've got like the Hacktoberfest label going. They've got like an apprentice level going.
Yeah, they
got
have
some difficulty ones as well.
Difficulty.
They were up further in the list. I think you scroll past them.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, difficulty is up.
There you go. So yeah, they've got quite a decent label system in place if you want to start filtering through their issues and find something that you can work on. Obviously, this is just one project. There are thousands of TypeScript projects that have opted into Hacktoberfest that you can pick from.
You'll definitely never run out, because I think each time you kind of find a project, probably 10 more get added.
Yeah.
We've got another great question. A lot of people, in the space, they're looking for jobs, would love to get into the industry. You all have thoughts on how open source and doing all this good stuff can help with this? Eddie?
This is one of my favorite questions. So thank you, AK, for asking this. I really appreciate it. I see this happen all the time. And I think the one thing that people do to, they're going to get so many benefits. They're going to network. They're going to learn new skills, technical skills and core skills. And by core, I mean soft skills like communication. But to kind of, accelerate that process, I would say make sure you focus on a few projects. Don't try and contribute kind of good first issues to 1,000 projects, because you want to kind of level up. The other thing I would say is make sure you write good comments, good descriptions. So think about someone might have missed a conversation or might not read the entire history. To your resume, I would say also add a pull request that you've made that you're proud of, but also add a link to an issue that you've written that you're proud of, because that's super important. And also a pull request that you didn't author, so you didn't create, but you reviewed it. That's really, really important. I think people focus too much on commits. And then when I hire for my clients, I do look at people's GitHub profiles and see what contributions they're doing to open source, but I'm not looking for what everyone thinks I'm looking for. I'm not looking, is your code the best? I'm looking to see kind of how you collaborate and communicate with people. Because if someone is doing, say, if else instead of a switch statement, that's really easy to show and demo and explain and teach and so forth. But if someone doesn't know how to communicate, doesn't know how to have empathy and with someone else's work and all the rest, then that's a lot harder to teach. I would try and get involved in the conversation on GitHub. Is not just about those commits. It's about collaborating with people and to improve our collaboration, our communication. That takes a lot of practice. So I would say, make sure you focus on that as well and be consistent. I always say it's like brushing your teeth. Don't try and brush your teeth all weekend and then don't brush your teeth the rest of the year. You want to do it little and often, and you need the same with open source. If whatever your frequency is, 30 minutes a week, that's fine, but just try and be consistent. So over the year, over the last 12 months, it's been consistent, and you've picked a variety of collaboration and contributions. Like I said, it's not just about code and pull requests. Hope that helps.
That analogy. I love that analogy of just like brushing teeth.
I gotta go update my brushing schedule. And to add on that, like I agree, communication is such a big thing, right? So on top of that, I'm a big fan of, like, when I see people coming through the pipeline for jobs or anything, if they've ever written a blog post on their journey, right? Like I love seeing people go on Hashnode or go on Dev2 and just kind of document, oh, this is what I learned. And it's not, a requirement, but seeing that kind of stuff helps me see how they communicate, how they think about their problems. So that's another one. Always blog is my big one. And then join the Discords, talk to the developers, and kind of just see if you can be friendly and chat with them.
Yeah, it's very much that. Make yourself known. Like, be involved in open source. Get involved in the communities, and people will notice you over time. And in some ways, that is then it will get you a job eventually. I feel like I can testify to this. I got my job at DigitalOcean through maintaining CDN.js. I worked on CDN.js for like a year and a half, and then someone from DigitalOcean reached out to me and said, "Would you like to come and work with us?" So I can attest to the fact that if you maintain that presence in open source and do good, people will notice it and appreciate it.
I love that. Absolutely. Get involved in the conversation and you can help someone. A lot of people say, well, I can't review someone else's pull request or I can't get involved in the conversation. I just started a month ago. Well, there's someone who started today and you can help them because you've got a month's more experience. And sometimes it's just listening and providing support and they'll figure out the issue themselves. So yeah, just support each other. It adds a lot of value. So yeah, great to hear that story. Thank you for sharing as well.
We have another question, and then I think we're going to come on close to wrapping it up. So please, if you have any more last-minute questions, now's the time. Throw them in chat. Tasmia with, is it necessary the issues have the Hacktoberfest label? Or will the Hacktoberfest topic on the repo be good enough?
So yeah, so to recap, the Hacktoberfest label doesn't matter. We don't look for that at all in terms of like validating pull requests. We're just looking for that Hacktoberfest topic on the repository itself. That's what matters to opt in a project.
All right, some great last minute questions coming in. AK with along the lines of the job question. What about for remote jobs if we're from a different country?
I feel like that's the beauty of the tech world. So many of us are remote. It doesn't really matter where you are. If you've got the skills, a company will hire you.
I guess we're all pretty global right here. Tim's in the Netherlands, Amy and myself in the US. Eddie and Matt,
you're
I
in
believe.
the UK right now, aren't you?
I'm in the UK until next week, and then Portugal the rest of the year, and then Thailand the rest of the winter. So, you know, you're right. Tech is amazing. If people want to work with you, want to hire you, it doesn't matter which country you're in, it doesn't matter what time zone you're in. People just accommodate. So I've seen something recently. I won't mention their name. I hope they write about it, a blog post or a video. But they were consistent, contributing to open source, getting involved in the community chat, just like all the tips that people suggested. And a company reached out to them and said, "Look, we love what you're doing. Can we just pay you to do it for our open source project as well, just as part of the kind of the open source contributions you're doing?" And they were in a different country. They just figured it out. They hired a law firm to just deal with all the technical issues. I say technical, all the legal tax things. It all just happened and worked. And another great news from that was they messaged me and said, "Look, I've been given this offer. I don't know what money to ask for." I said, "Ask for what you'll be happy for." And they asked, and the company said, "No, that's too little. We want to pay you double." And they actually offered them double what they asked for, which is just amazing. Not because they're their best coder, not because they're the smartest person in the world, because they consistently contribute to open source and they just really loved what they did and they just wanted the same for their project and community. So yeah, really great question. Around the world's getting smaller and smaller, and you can just be anywhere.
I love that way of putting it. And more on that, right? Like the world is getting smaller and our reach is getting stronger. So Ethan, with this question, is live streaming open source development a good way of showcasing that too? And I absolutely think yes.
Yep.
If you see a bunch of people, right? Like, what do you think the number is? 10% less are actually putting in the work to try to live stream or create videos or create blog posts. Those are the kinds of things that help you stand out and you learn while you're doing it.
I think the other really powerful thing about live streaming, especially for development, is if you just look at like an open source contribution that someone's done, you just see basically the final code. Yes, there's probably a commit history you can look through, but open sourcing live streaming lets you document your development process and gives people such a better insight into like how you work and how you think through problems, which like from a job perspective is wonderful because people can look at that and understand how you work. but also from an education perspective, it's a wonderful way to teach people how to approach solving code problems.
Yeah,
I find
and
live streaming also shows, you as Chris said, you're learning as you're doing, so you're searching for the answer if you don't know the answer, and it showcases that
It also shows
you
how you
don't need to know
can
everything.
communicate with
You
other
don't
people.
need to, you don't need to know everything. It shows how exactly that you can communicate with people, telling them, this is how I do it.
You'll
So
also discover through
definitely
live
live
streaming
stream.
that a lot of development is just Googling stuff.
Yeah,
So much of it.
there's a lot of Googling. I think people don't really talk about this as much because, as Matt said, you just see the final code, the final output, but there's a lot of time researching how to actually do it.
I find streaming is kind of selfish for me because everybody in chat fixes my code for me. Like
Here's the
everybody's
thing.
so fantastic about it.
Here's the thing about live streaming that you can do that just even straight videos or blog posts won't do, is that it gives you the opportunity to learn how to say, I don't know. And I've interviewed so many people who were so afraid to say that. It's like, it'll be so hard to teach you something because you can't even admit that this is not a thing that's in your wheelhouse. Be okay saying I don't know, being okay showing people how you go finding answers, because that's the thing people actually want to know about you, is how you find your answers.
Definitely.
Yeah, so true. Seeing that process is really, really important. And like you said, we don't know everything, and it's important to see how people kind of, go and research. And it's funny when people say, "Oh, Eddie, I really liked your video. You built, I don't know, a Linktree." After my live stream with the Linktree clone, I did a video. They're like, "Oh, I liked how you did that video. You built a Linktree clone in 8 minutes." I'm like, "No, I didn't. Videos aren't real. Well, they're real, but they're just like the Instagram kind of like, highlights perfect part of the video." I said it kind of like, took me a long, long time to build. That's why live streams, I think, are so authentic. We get stuck. The people in the chat help us. You get to kind of, collaborate a lot more with people, and people get to see that we're just human and we make mistakes and we get stuck a lot. So there's a lot of Googling. It's like, I think I did a tweet recently. I did really well. It's like 90% Googling, 5% kind of coding, 5% something else.
Alrighty. Oh, I've got one last question, then we should wrap it up.
I have a good resource for this, actually. Roadmap. They're not a tool that we're featuring right now, but Roadmap is a great way. If you don't, one of the things I found about remote work is that if you're new, you don't know the questions you should be asking, and there aren't other people physically around you for say, I don't know what that person does, let me go find out. If you want to go find out what other people are doing tertiary to your job and what that skill set looks like, that's a great way to look. They have one specifically for backend. This is one of the first things anyone asks on an interview is, how does your browser work? That's a question they're going to ask you. The answer's right there. The language, and it shows that you don't need to know everything, but these are the highlights that if you know this one thing, you should know this other thing. And that's a lot of what development is. I love Roadmap so much.
Roadmap is such a great tool.
It's so good. It's also
I love. Yeah, it keeps getting better and better. You can like create your own roadmaps now.
Yeah.
But each of these is its own domain of things to learn about, right? So
they're also clickable resources.
Yeah. And don't look at this and be overwhelmed. Like, just kind of take one by one. And I see it as an exciting kind of path, right? Like, I think all of this is really fun. I might be biased, but
I love it. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to click and see what new links were added to.
You know what else is really cool about Roadmap? It's open source.
Yes, it is.
So if you're an expert in one of these areas, you're more than welcome to go and contribute and improve those roadmaps.
I have another educational open source resource because it's my friends. We actually did a stream of this before. It's called, and we do have resources there. It is not a Hacktoberfest project, so don't flood them with things. But if you are fairly settled in the domain that you're in, and you want to start helping other people get into tech, Cloud Resume Challenge, it teaches a very high level aspect about cloud. It helps people get certifications. They are now also an open source project. So if you wanted to teach, if you wanted to build an exercise to get people to learn how to do cloud stuff, that is a great place to start contributing outside of Hacktoberfest. They also have a great community and a lot of new people trying to get into tech when they're still genuinely like super jazzed about being in it. Matt, you can say the thing again.
Yes, there will be a recording on YouTube. It'll be like available. I mean, I think in theory, if you're watching this on YouTube, you could scroll back right now to start watching us again. I mean, don't because we're still live,
that's
but
the way,
you could. But then as soon as we've ended, it will be on YouTube as a full video. So you can watch all of us ramble on again if you so desire.
Yes, but let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for everybody for joining. Really, really fun. Another Hacktoberfest is here, everybody. Happy hacking. Any final words from around the table?
Get involved. Don't be afraid.
The fun.
Yeah. Communicate.
Don't be afraid.
I think the big takeaway from this is communicate. Talk to maintainers. If you're not sure, talk to other people in the community. Hacktoberfest is a huge event. There are plenty of people just like you that are also looking for help or willing to help you. So get involved.
Yeah.
Today,
we all started at a point in time. Eddie, Matt, myself, Amy, Chris, we all had zero clue what we were doing at a point in time, and we all started. Hacktoberfest is a great source for you to get started with a big community behind you.
Yeah.
And get started today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Today.
But talk of tomorrow, don't forget we have our satellite session number 1 tomorrow. So if you want more of us...
So if you wanted to start tomorrow, you could.
If you want more of us, we'll be back tomorrow talking about what's new in open source developer tools. We'll have some more of our sponsors, and we'll have a roundtable chat afterwards as well. So come and join us then if you want.
Yeah. Thanks all.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.